And welcome back here to Tournament Central, everybody. It's hard to believe, but we are already halfway through the opening round. And we're going to continue on, and believe me, sweet, sassy Molassie, do we have a good matchup today. Today, we're opening in Section 3 with a Chap Record Book going against the William Bissell photograph. So as always, our staff members, and this time it'll be Michelle and Chloe, will have 2 minutes to talk about their items, make the case and why they want to move on, and in the end, you get to choose. So let's take it out to Michelle and Chloe as they make their case to see which item will move on in the tournament.
What was life like for young women at the turn of the century? A lot of times it feels like people who lived that long ago must have had a very different experience than we do now. But every once in a while we come across an artifact that lets us know that people haven't changed that much over time. So if I was a young lady living a century before dating apps were a thing, I might get myself a Chap record. It's a pre-printed journal that allows me to record all of the young men that I meet and assess them for their mate potential. So the Chap record was published in 1898 as something of a novelty for young women. To record the name, date, location, where they met a young gentleman, and their first initial opinions of them. There's also a page to record their most notable chaps. And this artifact all by itself, is hilarious, and it's a fantastic, fantastic addition to our collection. But what makes this one actually truly special for the Elkhart County Historical Society is that this is a filled-in Chap record. This book belonged to Bernice Elliott. She got it in 1906. She signed the inside, and she recorded several of the young men that she met in and around Goshen where she was living, including her 12 most notable. So inside this journal, as the poem says, is "Behold herein, all nice and neat, a record of the men I meet. Among them all, perhaps there be, who knows, the not impossible he." So, did Bernice marry one of her chaps that she recorded? Well, you'll have to vote this artifact on to find out, because it's way more than I can cover in 2 minutes. I will give you one juicy bit of information. In the 1900 census, Bernice Elliott is living at the Elkhart County Jail. So if you want to hear the rest of that story, you'll have to vote the book on. So either way, I hope you're enjoying the collections tournament.
All right, so we received this incredible piece in 1939 from the Goshen Churn and Ladder Company. This might seem like just the image of a tree, but it's so much more than that. This is actually an image of William Bissell's gravesite. To find out who William Bissell is, we need to go back to 1832, when he was Goshen's first postmaster. Now, he didn't hold this position for very long, because on a return trip, just 8 months later, on his way back to South Bend, passerbys either found him ill or he fell off a horse. We're not really sure what happened there, but we do know that they brought him back to Goshen to his wife, where he lived on 6th and Washington Street. And sadly, he died there a few days later. Now, his wife had an elm sapling planted above his grave, and that's actually the tree it grew into you see in this image. Now, in 1906, this tree was cut down because the Goshen Churn and Ladder Company was expanding its business and needed the land. When it was cut down, there were over 100 spectators, and there were commemorative pieces made from the wood from the tree. And we think we may have one of those items in our collection. Now, you'll also notice that this frame is made from elm wood, and we're not sure if this is from the same tree that William was buried under, but it's still a significant feature of this piece. Now, if you want to know what happened to William Bissell's remains, you're going to have to vote this into the next round. So help me chop down the competition and get this photograph into the next round.
Whew. Was that some good history or what? So, as I said, you heard from both staff members. You have to decide. So we're going to put this on the Elkhart County Historical Museum Facebook page, as well as the Elkhart County Parks YouTube page. And you, by leaving a comment, will vote. So just put in the comments either the Chap Record Book or the William Bissell photograph. and whoever has the most votes is going to go on in the next part of the tournament. So the choice is in your hands. You have to vote. Hopefully you've been learning a lot about Elkhart County history, and don't forget to vote, and we will see you next time.